So today's session is going to be about fighting 360 degrees. It's something that is typical of Krav Maga, where our opponents are not always straight in front of us. We've been talking a lot about this in the recent sessions, especially in the Q&A we've been doing, is that we're not gearing for competitive fighting in Krav Maga. If our opponent can take an advantage, they will. And a great advantage is catching somebody by surprise, attacking them from behind, attacking them when they're not ready. So for us in Krav Maga, our work is rarely, we find ourselves here very quickly, but it doesn't start from here very often. Because if my opponent puts his hands up, I put my hand up from here. This is a lot of times I can de-escalate the situation. If we're not trading blows yet and somebody's shaping up, the last thing I want to do is pull a fighting stance, because here I've basically said I accept your challenge, let's go for it. I want to de-escalate. I want to maybe catch them by surprise when they're not ready. I don't want to give them a warning that I'm about to fight as well. So these are critical aspects. If you missed the live Q&A session, then we're gonna have another one soon. Look out for those. They're very important to understand not just the mechanics of fighting, but also the environment that it lives in for us in Krav Maga. So it's a critical aspect. We need to have skills, not just to fight forward, but also what to do when somebody attacks me from behind. I find myself approached from the side. I'm not always in a perfect position, and then from there I need to have response capabilities that are quick and that are devastating. I need to finish the fight as fast as possible. I need to get myself into a fighting position as soon as we can, and this is what we're going to work on today. We're going to work on hammer strikes, we're going to work on elbows, we're going to work on all these combatives that are not linear, but that give me an option to fight at any which angle that I need to. And it's something that's quite useful in Krav Maga, and it's something that we see, we're not the only ones, it's practiced in martial arts as well, but it's something that we see quite often in, I don't like to use the word street fight, but when people are dealing with assault. When people are attacking, they get hit. It's not like, we're standing here, two trained fighters exchanging blows. It's I get hit, I'm overwhelmed, and now from here I have to respond this way. So I'm going to give you some very good tools to do that. And as always, we're going to build on the foundations that we've been working on in the last few sessions. So if you haven't done those sessions, I highly recommend go back, revisit them. We've got them recorded as well, and we're going to work on that. So the principles is the same. It's all about transferring mass into my strike. It's all about putting power. My hands can only do this much. If I put my force, if I put my weight behind the punch, I can have devastating results, and that comes down to my ability to move and my ability to have good footwork in order to transfer my weight, because it's the feet that can move my weight across. So we're going to work more on that. Today's going to be very, very good for your footwork. It's really going to develop, it's really going to help, help stabilize, or really help put in our ability of not just moving here, but also what to do when we have to start shifting, when we have to move 360 degrees. Our footwork is going to be fundamental, and we're going to work on that. Okay, let's start with just a little bit of warm-up before we go into that, because it's important, especially with the joints. We're going to be moving around on our knees, on our ankles and stuff. Let's get them nice and warm. So what I want you to do is, I want you to start in a good fighting stance. So from here, my feet are shoulder width apart, my back heel is raised. I want to drop my knees just a little bit so I have good balance. My weight is centered, and then my hands are going to come up. I'm going to put my right hand, tuck my elbow in, my hand is open, and my fingers are about eye height. I like to keep sometimes my thumb here, just around the jaw. That's a very good way to make sure that your hand is in position. Put your thumb of your right hand onto your jaw and tuck your elbow in. The left hand is going to come up, just eye height, and also my elbow is tucked in. This is my fighting stance. Okay, now from here what I want you to do is I want you to start transfer your weight from your front foot to the back foot. My mass is still centered, and I'm simply shifting my weight front and back. 1, 2. 1, 2, 1, 2. Good. Get a little bit more fluid. Get nice and loose with it. Front and back. 1, 2, 1, 2. Up, 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 up. Good. Okay, now when you've got this, I want you to take the front foot forward. Up and back. 1, 2. This is the motion. 1, 2. Up, up, up. Keep your stance nice and tight. Your chin down. Your elbows in. 1, 2, 2. 1, 2, 1, 2. Now add the right leg. So we're going to go 1, 2, 1, 2. Up, 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 up. Right heel up, left heel up. 1, 2, up, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, up, up, back to the front leg. Up, up, both legs. Up, up. 1, 2, 1, 2, 2, 1, 2. Up, up, up. Easy. Okay. Now what we're going to do is we're going to side here, horizontal, and we're going to go 1, 2, skip, skip. 1, 2, 1, 2. My weight is centered. 1, 2, 1, 2. Up, up, up. 2 rhythms. 1, 2, 1, 2. We're on the spot. Up, up, up. We're going to use this later. Up, up, up. I want you to try one movement. One more from here. We're going to pivot, pivot. And we're going to do the same thing forward. Pivot, pivot. 1, 2, 1, 2. Use your hips. 1, 2, 1, 2. 1, 2, 1, 2. 1, 2, 1, 2. Up, 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 up. Notice I'm stepping and I'm rotating only on the ball of the foot. Up, up. 1, 2. If I want to rotate, I go to lift my heel off the ground. 1, 2, 1, 2. 1, 2, 1, 2. 1, 2, 1, 2. 1, 2. 1, 2, 1, 1, 2, 1, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 2, 1, 2, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. Up, up. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1. Up, 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 up. Okay, good. Bring your wrists together. Shake them out a little bit. Elbows in. Shoulders forward. And back. Head up and down. Left to right. High in a circle. And switch directions. Good. Bring your hands across, lead in and out with your thumbs. Up, up. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. Up and down, lead with your thumbs. 1, 2, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1. Okay. I want you to rotate. At this point, we're not moving our feet yet. So I'm going to bring my hands up and I'm going to try to look behind me. Start gently. Okay, and as we do this, we're going to pivot on the opposite leg. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. Keep your hands up, horizontally in front of you. Up, 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 up. Okay, good. Hands on your hips, big wide circles. Switch directions. And now what I want you to do, as you do this, I want you to go onto the ball of your feet, onto your heels, and we're circling here. Up, up, up. Change directions. Okay, good. Hands on your knees, big circles in. And out. In again. And out. Alright, last thing, we're going to circle on our toes. We're just going to warm up those ankles a little bit more. Change directions. Okay. Toes, front and back. And switch legs. Circle. Change directions. And toes. Front and back. Okay. Good. Let's start with the footwork we need for a hammer strike. So we're starting with strikes sideways. Now, if I'm approached from the side, somebody attacks me, somebody comes to hit me, right? We have strikes. I can step in, boom, I can start fighting. The problem is, I don't have time. If I'm getting already attacked, I'm getting hit from the side, I need to be able to attack immediately. I don't have time or position to set up into fighting stance. I need to be able to fight from wherever I find myself, and I need to be able to deliver that first strike as fast as possible. The best way to do that is going to be with our hammers, it's going to be with our elbows. Now, let's see how we deliver force into that. The first thing is, let's look at our striking surface. So we close our fist and we hit with the bottom part of our hand. Bam. Now, if I told you to walk up to a wall and hit it as hard as you can, you probably wouldn't throw a punch. You'd break your hand. You'd hit it with an open palm, or you'd hit it with the bottom of your hand. Because I can deliver a tremendous amount of force into my hand, but without breaking it. So these make it very, very good, very effective strikes, and ones that don't need a whole lot of training behind them. That being said, if I can move correctly, I can increase the speed and the force that I can put into my hammer strikes as well. The second thing I want you to remember about the hammer strikes is I use them like a hammer. Bop, bop. What I mean by that is I bounce off my target. I need to recoil. That's part of the hit, right? When we're working with a hammer, this is the motion. I don't go clunk, bum, bum. It reverberates, pop, pop, off the target. So the same thing with my hammer strikes. All my hammer strikes are going to reverberate. They're going to boom. Part of the recoil, that's part of the strike. You can't do it without it. Okay, now let's look at some of the footwork that we want into our punches. So the first thing I want you to do is, I want you to turn. I'm going to go to my right side, and as I turn, I'm going to bring my opposite heel out. Okay, we did this on the warm-ups. We started here. From here, as I turn, I'm simply going to leave this foot stationary, my front foot, because I'm turning this way, and I'm going to do this motion as I'm turning. My hands are going to come up, and I'm going to turn. It's a similar motion we use to throw a powerful cross, but now from here, the front foot isn't moving, and we're going to use that to transfer the weight. The second part of the movement, I'm going to turn, and then I'm going to step up into fighting stance. Here I've got a reverse fighting stance because I'm orthodox, or I'm right-handed. From here I turn, and then I step out into fighting stance. Let's try that to the other side. I'm going to turn my shoulders, I'm going to turn on that back foot, and now from here I'm going to finish with the step into the fighting stance. 1, 2. 1, 2. 1, 2. Let's go to the other side again. Turn, step. Okay, feet shoulder width apart. Check yourself, knees slightly bent, and you should be in a nice, comfortable stance. You got that movement, you've got it. Then we just build on top of that. Okay, so we've got our footwork. Let's put our hammer strike into that. So the hammer strike looks something like this. The side hammer. I turn, boom. I punch, up, and I recoil. 1, 1. You notice one thing I'm not doing. I'm not stepping into it initially. Stepping into it, yes, it puts more mass into the punch, no question about that. But speed is of an essence here. By the time I step into it and I move my weight, my opponent is gone, or worse, is hit me with a few more strikes coming in, making my ability to counter ineffective. So from here, the quickest way I can hit, the hands are the fastest. You'll hear me say this a lot when I'm teaching Krav Maga. The body is the second, and moving my feet is the slowest. So if everything happens together, it's going to work at the pace of the slowest common denominator, if that makes sense, right? Imagine a motorcycle, a car, and a truck. They're in a race on the starting line, and they're all going to start. If they all travel at the same speed, they're going to travel at the speed of the slowest one, which is my truck. I want to let the motorcycle go first, and then the body, and finally the feet come last. So that's why it's important we break this down. So hands are up. I'm going to turn first. Now what I want you to do is I want you to bring that elbow up in front of your face. The one that we're going to strike with. The other hand is up here protecting as well. 1, turn, and recoil back. Pop, come back. 1. This also adds an additional level of cover and protection towards my face. Up, 1, 1, up, 1, up, 1, up, 1, up. It's critical that my shoulders turn into the target. I'm going to start everything with the look. I have to see what I'm hitting, and also my head is going to turn my body into the strike. Up here. The last thing you can do is you can lean into the strike a bit. So instead of just turning here on a plane, I'm going to lean into my punch. Now my body's already starting to travel that way. All that's left is for me to step in. So it's almost like I'm not falling, but I'm controllably sending my weight in that direction, and my foot is there to step right into place. Up, 1. Finish in a fighting stance. Up, 1. Boom. Remember to up, recoil your hammer strikes. 1, and as I'm recoiling, I step in. Up, up. Okay, let's go to the other side. From here, we're going to turn the body first, turning on the foot. Up, up. Now from here, bring your hand up horizontally and put a punch up behind it. Don't forget to recoil. Bam, up, up. Now as we recoil, we're going to step into our fighting stance. Ready? Bop, step. 1, 2. 1, 2. Bop. 1. 1. Up. 1. I can still do it fast. The foot is still moving at the same distance it would move on its own. But the difference is my punches already land in the process. So it's critical that we train it first. 1, 2, 1, 2. And once you've got that down really well, it's going to become second nature. Okay, the same thing. When we throw our hammer backwards, there's no difference. We're simply going to turn a little bit more. I'm still leading with my face, turning with the opposite heel out, boom, and I'm going to strike and turn into it. Watch from this side. I bring my head around to look. My hands come up protecting my face. My back foot is turning. Boom. And my hammer lands before my foot has moved out of place. Up. And then from there I can step into it. Again. 1, 2. 1, 2. 1, 2. Let's go to the left side now. Turn. Bam! Hammer strike. Step into it. And that's why if you want your foot to rotate and to go with you, you got to have that back heel off the ground. 1, full turn. Step. Turn that foot, you can step out if you need to solidify your stance. 1, boom, 2. 1, 2. 1, 2. Okay, that's it. Now our elbows are the same concept. Whether I put a hammer at the end of it, boom, whether I put an elbow at the back of it, the same thing with my elbow. I'm hitting. Just again, with the front elbows, we hit with this part, just about 2 fingers down with the bone. With the back, we're going to do the same thing. We're going to hit with at this part over here, just a hard bit with the back. From here, as I turn, boom, and it's important I recall that hand, just like I did with the hammer strikes. Boom, to the left, to the right, and boom, to the back as well. The back elbow especially, it really shows you how you don't have time to move. I've got somebody this close behind me grabbing onto me, maybe even. We have this defense, by the way, against when somebody grabs us in a bear hug or to throw us from behind. Here I don't have time, or sometimes not even the ability to step into it. Boom! It's immediate strike, and then from there, if the strike gave us a bit of opening, we can follow through. Okay, you've got this. Now we can also, this was striking on a horizontal plane. We can also throw our horizontal elbow forward. I find myself in a position like this. Boom. I'm going to do the same thing from here. If my left hand is here, I'm going to strike side hammer strike, but it's going to be directed forward, and I'm going to turn, boom, on the back foot as I turn it into the strike. 1, boom, 2, followed by cross. Stand here. If my hands are down on bits to the side, boom, this is going to be my hammer strike. Right side, up, up. Now I'm turning on my front foot. Why? It's where I want to transfer my mass. I want to transfer my mass this way. I'm going to put my hips into it. I want to turn my mass that way. That one's going to turn. And the final one I want to give you is the front vertical elbow. One of my favorite tools, going to the bridge of the nose. Boom! I kicked somebody in the balls. I've gotten their head down by kneeing them. Boom! I can hit onto the back of the head as well with this one. So from here I take my hand up, boom, and I'm going to turn on my hips, boom, as I'm striking down and recalling. 1, 1. Okay, that's what we've got for today. So we had our side hammer strikes, our back hammer strikes, the elbows that uses the same mechanisms, hammer strike vertical forward, oh, and hammer strike horizontally going forward. I like to put these ones very much sometimes at the end of a left hook. So I threw a hook, let's say I missed a back, boom, I can chase them back down with a hammer strike. You'll be amazed how many times you hit people with that one. It's one that's really, really hard to keep on backing up or to see coming. Okay. So now what we're going to do is take a second, grab a sip of water, and I'll talk you through the workout that we're going to do today. Put everything into practice. Alright, let's see that everything's going okay with the live recording. You guys are still with me. Beautiful. Excellent. Okay. So, this is going to be our workout for today. We're going to have very similar construct to what we did in the last session. We're going to have 3-minute rounds. These rounds are going to be compiled with a 2-minute combination where we're just going to put what we worked on in place into a combination, and we're going to repeat that one again and again and again until our footwork just starts to do it naturally. We're going to skip the brain and we're going to talk directly to the body, building that in so it becomes second nature. And the last minute of each round we're going to simply work free. So we're going to shadow box, moving around, throwing your jabs. You can work on your footwork that we did, on the pivots, on the side steps, throwing jabs, and then from here building into combinations. But the difference this time is your combinations are not linear combinations. They're not going forward. I can start my combination forward, and then from here I can start to work to the side. I'm going to break the angles, not just as in traditional boxing senses, but I'm going to break the angles of from here. I started to defend myself, boom, I noticed somebody from the side, I noticed somebody from behind. This is especially helpful for multiple attacker situations. So I can start my combination going forward, boom, I put a hammer to it, and now from here I'm going to change my angle, boom, I change my angle again. I'm going to use my elbows and my hammers to change, and also from here I can go back, I can move, I can go back into passive position, and then from here I can start working as well. You'll see me do this as we go through the combinations, but it's very important that we don't just get used to fighting from here, but sometimes we have to respond where our hands were down, or we weren't ready, or we got attacked by surprise, and from here I need to go into that. I don't want to train myself that I got to put a little fighting stance every time I want to start hitting somebody. Makes sense? Okay, so our first round is going to be a simple one. It's going to be jab, cross, hook, right? This is our classic 1, 2, 3 combination, but after our hook we're going to follow with a left hammer with the same hand. 1, 2, 3, 4, boom, 5 cross. So jab, cross, hook, hammer. Make sure to turn, boom, onto the balls of your feet, and then from here, bam, bam. I'm going to load them up together. 1, 2, as I transfer my mass, bam, into the punch coming back. Jab, cross, hook, 1, 2. Okay, ready? I'm going to set the timer, and then the last minute we're simply going to work around. We're going to work free, and if you like, you can throw any combinations with the hammer strikes. If you're struggling at any phase, just go back to the basics, right? If you're struggling at any place you lost, just go back into your jab, bap, 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 and throw the combination, the specific combination we've been working on. Okay, I'm going to set the timer. We're going to have 2 minutes work, and then the bell is going to ring. That means we have 1 minute of free, and then we're going to have 1 minute break in between rounds as I explain the next round for you guys. Okay, be ready to go. 3, 2, 1, and let's go.
Round 1.
1, 2, 3, 1, 2. Bap, 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 bap. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2. Bap, 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 bap. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2. Bap, 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 bap. Bap, 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 bap. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2. Bap, 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 bap. You can work at your own pace. Bap, bap. And I want good striking every step of the way. 1, 2, 3, bap, bap. Practice as slow as you need to make the strikes crisp and to transfer that body weight, bap, straight into your punches. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2. You notice all the time my hips are moving all the time. The balls of my feet, I'm turning on them. Up, 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 up. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2. Remember to hammer, bam, to bounce off up, boom, your target. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2. 1, 2, 3, bop, bop. 1, 2, 3, bop, bop. Keep your elbows in. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2. 2, 3, bop, bop. 1, 2, 3, bop, bop. You can step into, boom. A 1, 2, hook, they slip back. I'm going to advance with my hammer strike. Bam, up, up. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2. 1, 2, 3, bop, bop. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2. Okay, let's go. Free work. Jab, move, up. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2. Back into your jab. Head movements. Up, up, changing, breaking the angles. Bop, 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 bop. Up. 1, 1. Bop, 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 bop. Jab. Up, 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 up. 1. Up, 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 1, 1, 2, 3, 2, up, 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 up. Time. Okay, next round. We're going to start it with our left hammer. So we're going to go left hammer, step into the cross, hook, cross. Watch. Pivot on the back foot. Now I step into it, boom, into my cross, hook, cross. Okay? More advanced level. 1, 2. Now with the hook, I'm going to side step, boom, forward. I'm going to change my angle once again. So I went 1, step in, cross. Now from here, when I'm going to deliver the hook, my right foot is going to go to my left foot, boom, as I pivot into a strong hook, and then my cross. Okay? If you're just starting out, you don't have confidence yet into your side steps, don't do the side step, it's not compulsory. Okay, ready? Let's go. 1, 2, 3, 4. Again. Hammer, cross, hook, cross. Hammer, cross, hook, cross. Hammer, cross, hook, cross. Hammer, remember to step into that. Cross, hook, cross. If I'm facing this way, from here I can't throw, I can't deliver my mass forward. I need to open up my angles, right? From here, this doesn't work. This works. I need my hips to the target. Pivot, cross, hook, cross. Again, pivot, cross, hook, cross. With the side step if you like. 1, 2, bam, bam. Advancing side step. 1, 2, 1, 2. 1, 2, 1, 2. Okay, and now free it up. Bop, bop, bop. Up, 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 up. Up, 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 up. 1, 2, 3, 4. Good. You work at your pace. I'm breaking it down. For those who are struggling, you need a bit slower. 1, 2, 1, 2. 1, 2. Up, up. 1, 2. Step, step, step. Up, 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 up. Okay, free. Up, 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 up. Up, 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 up. Up, 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 Good. Remember, sometimes start with your hands down. Up, 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 and go into your combination. Up, 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 and time. Okay, next one's going to be a bit interesting. We're going to go with our right hammer. Watch, right hammer, step into it, a left cross, right cross. So what we're going to do is we're going to use our strikes to transfer our footwork. One, we turn, we step into it. Now I'm right-handed, so this is my left leg back. Boom, I'm simply going to transfer across for reverse stance. And now I'm going to step into another cross with my backhand and close it up with a hook. Okay, again, one more time. Hammer strike, step in, straight punch with your backhand. And now from here, I'm going to step forward as I throw another straight hand with the other hand. Boom, and I'm going to close that one off with a hook. Okay, be ready to go. If you need to, do it with me slowly. If you've got it, find your pace and just get to work.
Round 3.
1, 2, bam, bam. Again, hammer strike, step in. Left cross, step in. Right cross, close it off with a hook. Up, 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 up. 1, 2, 1, 2. 1, 2, 1, 2. 1, 2, 1, 2. 1, 2, 1, 2. 1, 2, bop, bop. I specifically choose these combinations, bop, bop, to work on footwork aspects. There are many combinations I could put at the end of these hammer strikes. And I like these ones that we're working on particularly because they really get the right movements that I've been working on with you guys in the last few sessions. It's my feet working. 1, 2, 1. Boom! I can sidestep into that. 1, 2, 1. Bop. 2. 1, 2, 1. Bop. Advancing sidestep. 1, 2, 1, 2. Just working your way into that. Don't worry about the advancing side steps at this point. Up, up. Just get into the footwork. 1, 2, 1, 2. 1, 2, 1, 2. 1, 2, 1, 2. Okay, let's go. Free work. Up, 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 up. Okay, you can work now as you like. If you've got this down, work on one side. If you're really confident, you can put both sides into the shadow box. I go to my left side. I shadow box. Up, up, up. I go to my right side. Up, jab, up. 1, 2, bam. 1, 2, 3, bam. 4. Up, 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 up. Up, 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 up. Up, 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 up. Up, 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 up. Up, oh, up, up, up. Up, 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 up. And time. Okay, next one we're going to do the same thing, but we're going to go backwards. So I'm going to start my combination up, turn into back strike. Now I'm going to step in. 1, 2, 3. It's the same combination we just did, but now we're going to start it with a back right hammer. So again, hands are up. I start by looking. I'm going to turn on the back foot as I throw my hammer strike, and now a deep step in. Left cross, right cross, finish with a hook. One more time. Bam. Recoil off your target, step in. 1, 2, 3. Hi, be ready to go. 10 seconds. 3, 2, 1.
Round 4.
1, 2, 3, 4. Up, 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 up. Up, 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 up. Pay extra attention here. Up, where your feet are landing. This is a very good exercise. Keep on working as I'm talking. These are very good exercises to have control over. I send my weight, my foot steps into the right position. I know if I need to close up a little bit. Now from here, as I transfer my weight to make sure I'm landing, your body will feel right if you have good stability and if you can push off it for the next strike, or if you're just kind of falling over, or if you're losing your stability. So take it as slow as you need to. And this is really about stability here. It's about, when I'm talking about footwork, I'm talking about your ability to transfer your weight up, 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 and put force behind your strikes while keeping a good solid base. Up. 1, 2, 3. Up. 1, 2, up, 3. One, 2, 3, up. Up, 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 up. Up, 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 up. Look how much ground we can cover. Up, 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 up. So fast. Okay, we're gonna now go to the left side. So turn, step in, 1, 2, 3. Okay, same combination we did before on the left side, but now we're doing it going backwards. Back hammer, step in, boom, into solid cross, hook, cross. 1 hammer, step in, turn, cross, hook, cross, either on the spot, up, 1, or from here, up, up with my forward side step. Be ready to go. Actually, I cheated you guys on. We should have had a free round. So we're gonna do a free round now, and then straight into our combinations, and then into another free round. Okay, let's go. Up, 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 1, 1, up, up, up. Turn around. Jab, jab, jab. Work. Back. 1, 2. Up, 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 up. Jab, jab low, jab high. Turn, step, 1, 2. Up, 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 up. 1, up, 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 up. 1, 2, 3. Up, 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 up. 1, 2, 3. Jab high. Okay, now we're going into a round. So we're going to turn left side, step in, cross, hook, cross. 1, bam, bam, bam. Again. 1, up, up, up. 1, 1, 2, 3. Up, 1, 2, 3. Up, 1, 2, 3. That's easy for you. 1, 1, 2, 3. Do this. 1, 2, up, up, with your forward side step. 1, 2, 1, 2. 1, 2, bop, bop. 1, bop, bop, bop. Up, oh, up, up, up. Up, oh, up, up, up. Up, up, up. Up, 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 up. Oh, up, up, up. Up, up, up. Up, 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 up. 1, 2, 3. 1, 1, 2, 3. 1, 1, 2, 3. 1. Okay, now we're free again. Right, I told you I cheated you one, don't worry. Now I'm giving it back to you. So we're working free, up, 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 turn, 1, 2. All right, 1. Now you can start, you've got quite a few combos. If you like, up, up, you can turn sideways, you can turn back, you can go any which direction, you can go boom, forward. I'm working all directions, breaking the angles, stepping into my punches. Up, 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 up. If you're lost, just come back to your jab, turn, 1, 2, 3. Jab, jab, turn, step, cross, hook, cross. Up, up, and time. Okay, we've got 2 more rounds to go. What we're going to do is we're going to do this one with the left elbow, and I'm going to pause the timer because this one's going to be fun and interesting. So it's actually not a bad thing that we had a double round a second ago. Okay, bear with me. So 3 options. We're going to start with our left elbow. Bam, here, 1. Now option number 1 is from here, after my elbow, I'm going to step in, boom, into my hammer punch. Elbow, step in, hammer, cross hook. Okay, so the same combinations we've been doing before. 1, 1, 2, 3. Okay, the second combination, what we're going to do is we're going to go like this. So the first one was leading in or going forward into the strike. The second one is going to be going back. So we're going to throw our elbow, and now from here, as we're going to throw our hammer strike, I'm going to 1, boom, I'm going to get some distance in order to throw the hammer. So watch how this works. Pivot, elbow, come back. So it's going to be boom, boom. Now watch my feet. 1, 2. It's this shuffle again. Up, boom, and I shuffle into fighting position, and then from here I can throw my cross or whatever follows. So 1, come back, boom, 2, 3, 4 if you like. 1, bam, bam. Okay, the third one, again, you choose. If you're comfortable, work with me. If not, just work on the basic. I'm going to go 1, boom, 2, and then from here I'm going to follow my strike. So from here I'm going to go side elbow, and I'm going to step in, boom, and I'm going to turn with the other elbow going in. And now from here I already know how to transition, which is the benefit, right? Because I've been working on from here. After I went 1, we're working left, sorry. After I went 1, Now from here I'm going to start by spinning my gaze. I'm going to look first to the other side, and then I'm going to step in, boom, and I'm going to hit with a strong right back elbow. And then from here I can follow through, step into the hammer. That's only if you've got this. If not, work on the first two. The first two were hammer, elbow, step into the hammer, cross, and then from here follow your combination, or elbow, step back, 1, 2, boom, and from here I follow through. Okay, I'm going to reset the timer, and you keep up, do what you can. Ready. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Round 6.
1, 2, bam, cross hook. A left elbow, step into the hammer, cross hook. Bam, 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 bam. Up, up, up. You can stop it at the cross if you're struggling. 1, 2, 3. Okay. 1, bam, 2. Elbow, cross. 1, step pivot, hammer, cross. Bam, bam, bam. It's a good combination. Up if I need distance away. If you notice, my elbow hits here, and as I step back, the hammer hits the same position, and then from here I cross, which is different from what we did before, where my elbow, and then when I step forward, I hit with a hammer that's far. That's in case I knocked his head back, and then I'm going to follow forward at him, or if he's coming at me aggressively, boom, I can use it to retreat, or I can work around him. So elbow, start by looking, turn your gaze, boom, step in to your elbow, hammer, boom, and then from here I can work freely. Again, 1, look, bam, 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 bam. 1, 2, pop. At this point, we should be arriving at a position where we just let our body work, and it knows the mechanics. It knows where it wants the feet to go. Up, 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 up. Up, up, up. Up, up, up. 1, 2, 3. Okay, free work. Bam, bam, bam. Up, up, up. Throw in that elbow. Up, 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 and time. Okay, into our last round. We're going to do the exact same thing with our right elbow. So, right elbow, step in, hammer strike, left cross, right cross. You remember that combination. Second option, right elbow. Now we're going to step back with that, boom, right foot delivering a strong hook, hammer strike. 1, recall. Now we're going to take our front foot, pop, and you're going to step back, pivoting on the front foot, hook cross. You finish it as you like. And the final one was 1, and now from here we're going to start a gaze. Right, we're going to turn, we're going to look back, look around, boom, step into a strong side elbow again, and then from here we follow through. Last round. Ready?
Round 7.
Let's go. Up, 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 up. Up, up, up. Okay. Elbow, hammer, 1, 2. Elbow, hammer, 1, 2. Elbow, hammer. I love this advance, by the way. Left cross, right cross. 1, 2, 1, 2. 1, 2, 1, 2. Very powerful way to advance. 1, 2, 1, 2. Okay. 1, 2, 1, 2. 1, step back with your hammer. 1, 2. Bam. Ish. 1, 2. Very effective if somebody's charging at me. Going forward, boom, I hit with an elbow. If that didn't do the job, as I take myself farther back, boom, and I throw my full body into that hammer. 1, 2. Bam, 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 bam. And finally, 1, turn, bam, up. 1, up, up, up. 1, 2, up. 1, up, up, up. 1, lead with your eyes, step in, bam. Bam, bap, bap, bap. 1, 2, up, up. 1, up, up. 1, 2, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. And last round. Now mix it up. Bap, bap, bap. Elbows. Up, bap. Hammer strikes. Up. Dangerous in all directions. Up, 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 up. Or angles. Up, 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 One, two, pop, 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 and time. Okay, very good. So, what do we have? We had our side hammer strikes, turning on the ball of the foot, and then stepping into our second punch. 1, 2. 1, 2. We had our elbows up. Different ways of stepping in or stepping out and following through. At the end of the day, the more I practice on this, and the more time I attribute to my footwork and my ability to shift the weight, the more these things are going to come naturally. And then I get to a position where I don't think about them because I can't. In reality, when I have to defend myself, everything happens so fast. We say, you don't rise to the level of your expectation, you sink to the level of your training. So let the level of your training be high and spend time on building those foundations of moving your mass correctly, putting your body behind your punches and keeping good solid balance, and that's going to pay off whatever you do. And there we can work at all different angles, whether we're punching, whether we're throwing kicks, and our footwork is going to follow us and provide a foundation anywhere we go. Because without a foundation, we can't punch and we can't move away, we can't move forward. It all comes down to my ability to keep solid base. So that's what I've been working on all of the sessions leading up to that. We've always had combatives, but it's always been building on the foundations of that footwork. We'll be revisiting in the next couple of sessions. We'll be revisiting our side steps, we'll be revisiting a little bit our pivots, and we're going to go even deeper into developing the good solid base. Because you see, everything we do works and builds on top of that. Okay, we're building a technique library as well, where you can go online and you can see the different techniques that we have in Krav Maga and how to work on that. And we'll also have different workouts. If you have a training partner, if you have somebody that you can work with, we'll also have sessions specifically for that. And bag work. I love working on the bag. The heavy bag is such a great tool. If you've got access to that, we're gonna have a lot of fun. If you don't, see if you can organize, if you can set yourself up, especially in these days where we're all in confinement in our homes. See if you somehow have access to get a punching bag up in the yard on a tree or something like that. If you don't, that's also okay. We're gonna have plenty of stuff that we can do in just our living room like we did today. Okay. So that's going to conclude our session. I'll be training with you guys again on Wednesday. We're gonna set the hour 1 hour later, so it coincides with 6:30 Sydney time. That's going to be 11:30 for us here in Tel Aviv. I believe that's 9:30 for the guys in London, and in the States, wherever you are, different states, go into Google, and I'm sure that you can figure that out. So I hope you guys had a good session. This one's going to be recorded, so I'll do my best to upload it in just a bit, and I'll see you guys again on Wednesday.